Let me tell you something. So,
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something.
There'll be girls across the nation that'll eat this up. Babe, I know that it's your soul, but could you bottle it up? Get down to the heart of it. No, it's my heart. Your shit out of your luck. Don't make me tell you again.
Problems and then we just like stopped it.
I don't know. I feel like the podcast where you don't plan anything, yet you have shit to talk about. I think these are like the best podcasts.
Yeah, casual conversations.
That's true. That's why I didn't really put that many questions. Like I didn't really prepare that much.
Yeah.
Kind of. I wanted to have it more of a
Open-ended.
open-ended question. Yeah,
Yeah.
open-ended topics.
Are we starting?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Cool.
You want to give us an introduction?
Sure. Hello everyone. Welcome to Interesting People at McGill. This is my friend here, Jimmy Khairallah. He's a software engineer at Shopify, ex-intern at Amazon, and his little bro.
What? I don't get an introduction. I have to give my own introduction.
Yeah, I need you to introduce yourself because
Okay.
the thing is-
I'm only introducing McGill People here, bro.
Okay. I see where you're
Go
going.
on,
Okay,
go
they're
on.
shitting on me. Okay, is it because I'm Concordia student? Is it because I'm from Concordia?
Yeah.
I
Okay,
don't want to say that, but
no, I'll say
Hey, I said it right. Okay, so finance bro from Concordia. Yeah.
you do look
I
like a finance bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that sweater and
You
those
just have to do
chains.
that. Like just speak like that. You're just fucking.
Look at what he's wearing. Look at what we're wearing. For God's
Yeah,
sake.
that makes sense. Yeah, and
He's apparently better looking than his brother.
Debatable.
Apparently?
Debatable.
Is he? Well, with that hoodie, you kind of look sexy, bro.
Bro, like
Hey, it speaks
representing.
for
that
himself.
Shopify?
It speaks for himself.
He's
It speaks for
rocking,
himself.
man.
Yeah.
He's rocking. All right, let's talk about your experience at Shopify, Jimmy. I know you've been in Shopify for what? One year?
No.
Has it been 1 year?
No, it's kind of like 7 months, around 7 months.
How was your experience? Well, how was it?
Well,
Because I know you started in Deliver, right? You
Yeah.
started in-
So like before graduating with one semester, like I only had one course to take at McGill. Long story short, I misread my curriculum and I had one course left. So yeah, that sucks. But anyways, so I started applying around maybe beginning of 2022. And I was looking for startups because like I previously worked at Amazon, which is something that we'll cover later. It was a nice experience. Well, debatable, but yeah.
That's not experience at all, man.
I try not to shit. Well, we're gonna shit a lot, but yeah.
He's about to shit Amazon, man.
Anyways, yeah, I don't.
Well,
give a
get
shit.
ready for that.
Yeah, but like then I started applying to startups because I wanted to change in the work environment. It's fast paced. It's nice. Everyone gets close to each other. But then 3 months into Deliver, Deliver was acquired by Shopify.
No, okay. He's not telling the long story, but the long story is he applied to Shopify and he didn't get accepted.
You got
okay?
rejected
He
from
got
Shopify.
rejected
An
from Shopify. Okay?
internship.
Listen. He got
I
rejected
didn't
by
even get to the
Shopify.
interview though,
Jimmy,
Yeah.
how could you wear that hoodie, man?
because I don't know.
You
they-
should feel ashamed, bro. They just rejected you.
Yeah. They felt bad. They gave
Just
him
find
one.
your harder way out there.
Oh yeah, it was a funny story. Thanks for like bringing this up, Chris. So I applied to Shopify as like they opened up for the first time I think an internship at Shopify. They usually have this dev degree program where the second you join university, you start, like working during the summer and part time. It's like they teach you stuff. It's like another university if you want. But they opened up this internship position during the summer and I applied thinking like I would get in because I also got a referral. I was like, at least they're going to give me an interview, right? Because like getting the interview is the hardest part. So I busted my ass off working on their thing because like you have to create like a quick backend kind of task.
Yeah, isn't there like the language they use? Isn't it like a Shopify language or something?
Oh no, you're talking about the what's it called?
I think you're talking about SAP.
no.
SAP has their own language,
he-
right?
he- said-
no. You're talking about
uh,
Liquid. That's like their language that people work with when they want to create their Shopify store. If they want to edit their store and like edit their design and all that
I
stuff.
heard it's shit.
Liquid.
Shit language though.
Is that a company? Is
No, it's a language created by Shopify,
Oh, I see.
used in Shopify. It's for basically when you want to create themes for your
Nice,
store.
okay.
But yeah, anyways, back to the story. Busted my ass off for like 3 days nonstop, trying to create this backend thing, get it to work and get it to set up easily. Worked with Docker for the first time, I remember.
Fucking Docker.
Yeah, don't get me started, man. But yeah, anyways, I did all that stuff and I applied, I submitted everything, and then did not even get an interview. So I was like, fuck it, let's go for startup vibes. And then I applied to Deliver, got in. It was a nice interviewing process. And then like there were rumors by the time I started, there were rumors that Shopify will buy it, but like I did not expect it because Shopify at first they didn't have anything except for like providing a service to open up your own website. So out of nowhere they just buy Deliver for like $2.4 billion.
Okay, let's not say out of nowhere, because I remember that time Shopify was booming. Drop shipping just became a thing. Everyone was drop shipping. I opened my own drop shipping store. Everyone wanted to try drop shipping, and the easiest way to do it was on Shopify. I remember their stock blew up, and so they thought they could create their own logistics, and so
which they did.
They acquired Deliver.
Yeah. So right now I'm still working with Deliver Stack. You know, like they're still merging if you want, since Deliver has more technology implemented than Shopify Logistics in a way. And you know, like the little microservices that Deliver has is just way more advanced than Shopify's one. Like because Deliver has been working on this for 5 years. Shopify, I think, a couple or maybe less.
Maybe give context. What is Deliver?
So yeah, Deliver basically is a service where, suppose you want to open your own e-commerce platform and you want to, you don't want to take care of your own fulfillment side of your business. So suppose like I want to open up a website selling, I don't know, let's say phone cases, I guess. And then what you want to do is every time there's an order on your website, you'd have to like fulfill it yourself. So what you do is you onboard to Deliver, you inbound all your stuff to their warehouses. They spread them out to fulfillment centers and sort centers, and what happens is it automates the delivery process. So whenever someone orders something, Deliver handles all the fulfillment stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much what Deliver does.
Nice.
So yeah, so they got acquired by Shopify. Shopify is doing the same thing.
Would you say you're working more on a code base of Deliver or more of a
At
Shopify?
the moment, it's Deliver. Like the thing is, Shopify has their own code base, and some teams on, like they were Deliver, well, ex-Deliver, let's call them ex-Deliver folks. They're starting to work on Shopify Stack so that they could like integrate better. But right now, since most of the I'm on the fulfillment team, so most of the things that happen is still in the Deliver network, not Shopify network. So I'm still working on a lot of projects on the Deliver Stack. So
did you feel like you were kind of the new kid at school? You know, when you just like, because the acquisition was like the new team coming into Shopify, and Shopify were like these old school kids are like, oh fuck, this new kid just came in.
Well, yeah, at first it started out like that, but like the Shopify people are pretty nice.
Did you like mark your territory?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Like Shopify folks are like, yo, how do I do this? How do I do that? I'm like, yo, like,
Yeah.
Come on.
Let me show you how to do it.
Amazon. Come on.
Also, I want to say something. Since you brought up the acquisition thing, a lot of companies acquire other companies, and then I don't want to say it's a failed acquisition, but the two companies do not merge correctly. There's a lot of conflict of interest. There's a lot of conflict between the employees, between the work culture as well. So was that anything that you experienced, or was it very easy integration?
That's a good question. Yeah, it was interesting. This is my first M&A, I guess. Well, I hope it's my last. But
first what?
M&A.
merger acquisition.
Oh, okay.
M&A, slang.
Yeah,
Compose
M&A,
and shit.
yeah.
Yeah, so it was pretty interesting seeing how I worked for like 3 months, but I adapted real quick at Deliver, and the work culture is pretty different. It's very fast paced and a lot of bureaucracy. When you work on a project, you work with your team. In Shopify, it's a bit different. For every project, there's a new team that's being created and formed from a big team. So you're always working with different people depending on the project. So it's a bit different.
So you adapted this work
Yeah,
environment.
they
where-
have this thing at Shopify called GSD, which stands for Get Shit Done, and they have a lot
I
of
like it.
Mm,
I like it.
Damn.
And
I
it's,
like it.
it's pretty cool. Sometimes it's like contradictory. So
Yeah.
sometimes some tools they're not very get shit done friendly, but most of them like they're pretty nice.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, you have to
You
teach
gotta
that.
get shit done.
You gotta get shit. You have to teach that to Twitter employees, bro.
Oh god.
Yeah, you have to teach them your slogan.
Yo, speaking of Twitter, they had like 8,000 employees. Now there are like 50 employees or even less,
They laid
and
off.
nothing changed, bro. Twitter even doing better than it was before. So
Yeah.
I don't see how like a company like Twitter needs 8,000 employees.
It was a shit show at first. 8,000 employees for what? To change
Exactly.
a fucking button?
And
Like it's just people going on doing daily channels on YouTube, a day in the life of a Twitter software engineer. It's everything except work. They're doing coffees in the morning. They're going on fucking playing ping pong in the office. What are you fucking doing? What are you getting paid for?
and then you see all these FAANG companies just like today Google just laid off 12,000 employees.
12K.
Yeah, so do you really think they
Yeah.
needed the 12K at the beginning? I bet you they were not doing anything. I have a
Wow.
question. Jimmy, speaking of this, how many hours a day do you work? How many hours a day do you work?
Jimmy.
On record,
Drum roll.
8 hours. But
Cap.
look, it depends. Yeah. Like every
Okay.
software engineer.
Hey man, I live with you, okay? You watch more anime than you look at your computer, okay?
well, look,
Is that true, Jimmy?
Well, the
No,
thing
no,
is,
I'm
it depends.
wondering.
It depends on the project. So sometimes you get tight deadlines. You get some projects that are very tough that you have to work, and sometimes you get blocked. So whenever I'm blocked, I tend to watch some stuff. You know, like there's nothing to do. Sometimes you're blocked.
Can you narrow it the stuff because that's
Yeah, that's
kind of
kinda
sus.
sus, bro.
Yeah,
That's kinda
right.
sus,
Oh,
bro.
it's
Like
one
yeah,
piece
you're
of
watching
stuff.
stuff.
One
Yeah, like,
piece.
People are gonna say, watching. I don't know, maybe.
Let's not go anywhere, bro.
Let's go
keep it-
anywhere,
keep
but
it
like people can interpret it in many ways. Come on, like tell us what the stuff
Yo,
are.
Netflix, nothing.
Netflix,
everything
okay,
PG,
that's
everything
What
PG.
in Netflix?
Bro, it depends.
Okay.
Depends on the mood.
Do you know Jimmy also works for L'Oreal?
He does. Do you? Are you an
Okay.
undercover?
This is a funny
L'Oreal?
story.
But
Okay.
yeah, you
Yeah. No, L'Oreal even. Okay, so I recently did an interview with L'Oreal, and so I took his CV template and I just added my information on it, and so the manager in the
Fake
interview,
competence right there.
yeah, right there.
Oh,
The,
that's a
interview,
good
the
story.
interviewer just asked me, like the end of the interview, I thought it was going great. He's like, "Who's Jimmy?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, who's Jimmy?" He's like, "By chance, are you like a software engineer by day and analyst by night?" I'm like,
Oh,
"Ah,
God.
shit." I'm like, "Yeah, I forgot to change that." And then we just started laughing.
He
So wait, you forgot to change your
No,
The
name?
not the
LinkedIn,
name,
the,
not
the
the
LinkedIn domain,
Link.
the LinkedIn link on
Oh,
my
that's
CV.
fucking
It
dumb.
says
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
linkedin.com/.
Oh,
Slash
God.
Jimmy. So
Oh,
yeah,
my
now
God.
now all of L'Oreal knows him.
Damn. What do you tell her? Change your name? Or
Yeah, I said thank you for noticing that. Yeah, that's for next time.
I just learned for next time. Thank
Yeah, I
you.
got the job. I got the job. Okay, I
You got the job.
Imagine
Damn.
applying and interviewing, and the interviewer fixes your CV. Like,
That's very interesting.
Hey, I'm
Actually,
that good. I'm that good.
I'm that good. They don't even care. You know, I heard a lot of friends just fake put in resume stuff. Like some guy that I know told me that he put in Google and Amazon internships, and he applied to Microsoft and he got the job. He didn't go to any internships in his life. He just put in Google and Amazon. He got the job.
that's very risky because during
why?
my okay, so let me tell you why.
That's actually smart. Like
When I
It is
applied,
smart.
yeah, you think it's smart.
okay, it's not that smart, but it's like it's
Let me tell you why it's not. Because when I applied to Deliver and I got the offer, of course,
Flex.
they
reference. Is that what you mean? Because of references?
they ask for references, and not only that, like, they're just not like they just don't ask for like, oh, just give us like anything, and they just won't contact. No, they actually reached out to the first company I worked at, that's Deuce Media. They reached out to the CTO. They reached out to my manager at Amazon, and I think that's pretty much it. Yeah,
Okay.
like they look at every single job experience that you had put on your CV or your resume, and then they ask for each one, like at least one reference from each, and then they actually reach out to them.
Okay.
So
Kids, if you want to do this, the loophole is know a manager at one of the companies you're trying to fake at.
Yep.
That works as well.
Exactly.
Come
It
on,
does-
I know someone who works on Shopify right now. If I put on my resume that I work for
I'm
Shopify,
not gonna. No.
come
I mean,
on.
I've never been asked any references
Me neither.
in any of the internships
Me
that I
neither.
did.
Internships, yeah, they don't care that much.
Well,
Internships,
well,
yes,
well,
yes,
what
yes.
about jobs? Have you heard of anyone like talk about how they were asked about their references?
Some do, some don't. But you know what they don't ask? Something that we need to touch on: GPA. Because okay, Jimmy has experience in Amazon. Now he's working full time at Shopify. Jimmy,
Jimmy,
what's your legal GPA?
Why don't you tell us the GPA?
Jimmy,
why don't
come on.
you
Why don't you come
flex
closer
your
to the
GPA
mic
on us, Jimmy?
and flex your GPA on us?
How much is your GPA? What's the color of your GPA?
Mine is green. Yours is red, man.
His is
I think
non-existent,
yours
my
is-
guy. His is black, bro. It's
Where are you
not-
at, bro? Tell us the range at least. Just the range. Just to let the viewers know how much
how about you
how
take a
much
guess?
GPA is shit.
How
shit
about
show.
you take a guess? How about you take a guess?
Okay, let's see.
Man's a Shopify employee, you know.
Yeah, I
Like, he's
mean,
still
you're
got- he's still
Shopify, you're
got-
ex-intern, so for you to be admitted to internship at Amazon, you must have something like 3 to 3.5, maybe. I'll say
It's like worst case scenario.
that's
right?
like worst case scenario. Yeah, right.
Wait, what's yours? If
My-
you're saying that and you just got an internship at Amazon, what's yours?
Mine is 3.9, but it's I don't think they even care about
Holy
this.
Yo, this
shit.
guy's
Okay,
shit,
so
man.
3.9. What's 3.9 divided by 2?
1.95. Right.
That's pretty
Is
close.
it 1.95?
Just add 0.05 on it.
Something like that. Yeah, it's like around a 2.2, 2.3. But like literally no one like they when you apply to jobs, when I apply to Amazon or Deliveroo or Shopify.
I think on the website you put like, what's your GPA?
No, they ask for the
3.5.
GPA, but like it's the only thing that's not required.
Do you put your real GPA?
Of course not. I don't
course
even.
not.
Of course not.
No,
Why,
I
why
don't
would
put
you?
my
Why
GPA.
would you?
empty.
I don't put
I
as
even
GPA.
I even think twice whether I want to put my GPA because no one cares
Shit.
about
Listen,
GPA.
No,
Like-
some people do. Just if you're getting into med school, if you're getting into law school.
Yeah,
Only
school,
that,
maths,
yeah.
anything that has to do with school.
School,
they
yeah.
care about
Okay, I
GPA.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the real world, like
Yeah.
okay, so what you studied like 12 hours a day. No one gives
No.
a shit.
Okay.
University is only meant for one thing. It's meant to show potential employers that you can commit to something, go for 4 years commitment, go do an exam,
Yeah.
and you can pass the minimum, just so they can see that you're a reliable person, and that's honestly all they care
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
I would even argue that GPA is a very bad metric to look at.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Look at two candidates, right? One candidate has done a lot of software engineering. Like imagine he wants to get into software engineering. He's done a lot of interesting software engineering courses, but they were so hard that it was GPA like 3.2, 3.3. But another person who all he cares about was GPA. So he went and did fucking easy bird courses and got a 4 GPA.
Yeah.
Who's a better candidate for your job? Not the 4 GPA guy,
of course.
because all he cared about was grades. And who cares about grades when you're fucking building code bases at Shopify and building code bases at Amazon? No one gives a. What you need to do is look at the courses, because that's when that's what's going to indicate whether you're interested about those stuff or not. Because especially in Faculty of Science, you have 70 credits. Is it 70? It's like 50 credits that you can, like it's flexible, right? I think the best metric that you can see is where you waste those 50 credits. If you
Yeah.
put it,
I think that's
if
a
you
good
put that
metric.
into bird, yeah,
It's a
if
good
you put that
metric.
into electives, then I don't think you like software engineering.
Yeah,
If you put it
totally
into
agree.
other comp courses and you don't care about GPA, even if your GPA is what 2 point whatever, that's
have the
that's
skills
fucking
needed,
good.
yeah.
You're interested. You're curious about this stuff. So who cares?
But there's other metrics that don't have to do, I want to say, with technical skills that affect a job. Because when you're interviewing someone, if you've ever been on the other side of an interview, the only thing that they're going in his mind, can I see myself working with this person? Because that's what really matters. Even if you're the smartest guy in the room, if you're not compatible, like no one wants to work with you.
yeah.
So you have to be able to, I'm talking like at an interview level or like at a job level, you have to be able to be open-minded, you have to be able to communicate. So I replaced the guy at L'Oreal right now and I asked my manager, like, who was the person before me? He told me they fired him after the 6 month. I'm like, okay, what happened? He's like, honestly, he was good at his job. He was just such an introvert that he didn't say anything. Like he never communicated, never talked about it. Like he was good. And maybe it was a
Corporate
L'Oreal
slave, I
thing.
guess.
Maybe it was a L'Oreal
Yeah.
thing because L'Oreal is such like a European work culture. It's all about networking. It's all about connection. It's all about talking with the people. And so maybe it's that type of company. But I think that's also like a really good metric that you need to look at.
Yeah, you spot on. Like every even in software engineering positions,
Is it
you
like
have to
this
look
with
at.
software engineering?
I think it's very
I don't
important.
want to be mean.
Software
I don't want to be
engineering.
mean. I don't want to
Yeah.
be mean. We're all a bunch of nerds, man.
No. So
We do look
that's-
like nerds though, right?
We look like nerds, but
We
when
do
we're
look like
talking,
nerds.
no, like let me tell you something. So
Let me tell you something.
You can't get. Let me tell you something.
Sorry.
That meme, bro.
Okay, yeah. So when as a software engineer in a work environment, what they look at is not whether you know how to do all these stuff alone or all, like your technical shit. Of course, technical shit matters. Like if you don't know how to do anything, what the fuck are you doing at the company?
Yeah, of course.
But the higher coefficient of measuring someone's capabilities is how well he can learn, how fast he can learn, how coachable the person is.
Yeah.
Because if you're like a closed-minded person who's too cocky and thinks like you can do everything alone, you're gonna end up just working alone.
That's so true.
And no one's gonna even like you're gonna lose your so something at Shopify we call is a trust battery. And a good trust battery is something that you like whenever you meet the deadlines, whenever you do your tasks.
Reliability.
Whenever you show reliability and that you can get your shit done, that's when your trust battery charges. And that's also like a way to get promoted, get higher responsibilities, show off like you're capable of doing stuff. So even though you're like the best coder on the planet, if like your team cannot communicate with you, you're worthless.
Yeah.
That's so true. I feel like that also is being touched in interviews, right? Because when they do leak code questions, they're not really looking at the technicality of whether you got it right or wrong. I got my interview question at Amazon wrong, but
Really?
I still got the internship.
They look at your thought process, right?
Well,
Like how
they
you break
do.
down things.
I feel like they do highlight the thought process more than they look at the coding skills or
And
whether
the
you got it
result,
right
yeah.
or wrong, right? Because I was able to kind of communicate my ideas very well. I was always just pouring in my thoughts. Whatever came to my mind, I was just telling it to the interviewer, and I think that what like brought me to get me the job, not my ability to. Well, I failed to. Like
show something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't wanna
Definitely.
like throw some shade or anything, but Jimmy did an interview with TikTok. Okay,
Oh
the guy's probably a genius. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything. The guy's probably a genius. He's a software engineer at TikTok, probably a
By
manager or
chance.
something. But the guy is
Robot.
He's a robot.
Yeah.
Okay,
He
you
did
can't
not
talk.
care. Like my interview was at 10 p.m. and the guy was like very dry. I don't know what to say, but like I would communicate my ideas. Usually when you're doing an interview with an interviewer, you get reactions. You get like it's like the interview is not like just you working alone. It's you and him communicating your ideas, or mainly you communicating your ideas with him, and him like either telling you like yeah or no, or like maybe you should try that, maybe you should try this.
Pick your brain. Just
Yeah,
try to see your thought
you're
process.
talking to someone
Yeah.
while coding. It's not like you're coding and you're just showing off what you're coding to someone. That's
Yeah.
how a lead code interview should be, or a technical interview should be. The guy was muted like 90% of the time. I was talking to myself, just waiting for someone to talk. At one point, he just disappeared from the camera.
Wow.
I don't know what he did, but like in the middle of the interview, like he gave me like a lead code hard question for a new grad position as a first interview. Okay, whatever. I communicated my idea. He's like, okay, implement it now. I'm like, okay. As I was implementing it, I was like talking and all that stuff. And then I went into a little blocker during the code. And I was like, it's not worth it anymore. Like I felt demotivated.
It's not motivating.
I felt demotivated
Yeah.
at the instant. I was like, is this how it's going to be? Like, am I going to be working like a slave, if you want, like just not doing anything?
Hey, no, you finished with Amazon, right?
That's a different conversation. But during the interview, I felt like no way I'm working for this company. So like in the middle of the interview, I looked at the interviewer. I was like, "Yo, can you just unmute yourself 1 second?"
Wow.
That's a boss move. He's like,
very
end this
bad.
shit.
He's like, "Yeah, what's up?" I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm done with the interview." He's like, he looked at the code. He's like, "It's not finished." I'm like, "Yeah, no, I know the code is not finished, but I'm finished." So, like,
Bro, that's
please,
such a giga chat, bro.
please, like, stop this right
That's
now. I
such a good
don't want to waste my time at 10 p.m. talking to you anymore. Just end it here. He's
Do you know
like,
that
"Okay."
giga chat?
He's like, "Okay."
Jimmy, right there, bro.
And then he was like, "So do you have any questions?" I was like, "No." He's like, and then he asked me something about like, oh, he said like, "Okay, you'll hear from us soon." I was like, "No need, like it's all good.
Damn.
Just don't bother, bro, please." And then that was like my worst experience interviewing ever.
Yeah, that's how boring it was.
Yeah.
Well, talking about worst experience ever.
I know where this is going.
Let's talk about your experience at Amazon. You entered at Amazon for
4 months.
For what? 4 months?
Yeah, that was back in 2021 summer.
Let's talk about this because I know you have I don't know if it's actually controversial. Maybe it's typical, kind of at this point. But you have a controversial view of your experience at Amazon. What was it like? And because a lot of people say that SDEs at Amazon are actual slaves. So I want to know what your thought
okay.
about that.
So
Isn't that more towards like the warehouse workers, or is it go like company?
It is more like, yeah, it is both, but like it originated first for the warehouse workers. Like you see how warehouse workers are working like their ass off, and the second they stop, they're like, "No, you can't stop. Just keep working. Keep working and all that shit." But no, like in software and like SDEs at Amazon, it depends on the team you're working with, because like you're not working with I didn't work with anyone. So yeah, so if you have a good team, if you have someone who's caring and all that stuff, of course you'll make it, and you won't feel as if like, "Oh, when will this day end?" or when will my internship end? So that's how I felt. So I had a team that was transitioning from CDO to AWS. CDO is like the non-AWS stuff, like anything that's non-AWS, like Amazon, Alexa, Prime Video, all that stuff. So
didn't they discontinue this? Sorry, but just to touch on
what?
this, didn't they discontinue Alexa? Because I know it's like
I still
they're
have
losing.
my Alexa at home.
They're losing. No, they discontinued like the updates and the new product line.
Why they do that?
I don't think so.
It's a losing market for them.
No, you think Google Home's
Yo,
better?
fact check this while he's telling the story.
Well, let's see.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm Jamie
they
here, don't worry
dropped
about
something. Amazon dropped something. One of those. They dropped this. So yeah, keep going.
So yeah, so I was put in a team that was technically not there. They were still transitioning, and my manager was most of the time FK. Like I met my manager. Usually, you meet your manager like a couple of months before you start your internship. My manager, I met her on the first day of my internship, which was not okay because like I didn't even know what team am I on or what am I working on. And then after that, they just gave me a project that was not enough for 4 months. Like I looked at other people's projects, other interns' projects, and they were like relatively simpler, like smaller in terms of like the content and the milestones that you have to complete for the project. And there was this thing where everyone was saying like, if you want to get a return offer, you have to finish the project and all that stuff. So they gave me a project that had failed twice in the past, and it was in a different team scope. So I was working mostly with an engineer from a different team, like as in communicating with him, seeing what works and not. And I had a design doc that was very different than the previous design docs. And one of the leadership principles at Amazon is have a backbone. You know, like you have to disagree and commit. Like you have to actually know and back up your claims and your ideas and your designs. And I was doing that. I was not using the same design as the previous two designs that failed. And I kept getting like, "Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You should do this. You should do that." I'm like, "Bro, it failed twice and I'm trying to get a return offer, you know? Like as an intern, that's your first priority." So I didn't have a good trust battery with my mentor. He was on the team, but he didn't have a lot of context about the project. So I had to update every time I do, like I'm working with the project on someone else. Every time I work on the project, I have to update my mentor and, you know, like argue with him, like what's going on and all that stuff. And then it reached the point where I had no more time to like actually implement because I was like blocked on many things like permissions for interns. It was a very bad project for an intern. That's what I'm trying to say. So eventually I completed the project and I had it pushed to production and all that stuff. But I was closed-minded because like I need to finish, like the only priority I need to finish this project. And if I need to like listen to every single point and try to argue about it and try to go back and forth with it, then this project will not end.
Well, let me cut you off. Sorry, but what was kind of the project? Like, what was your task in that project?
It was
Like,
designing like a monitoring tool. It was designing a monitoring tool for low-level database transactions. I don't know if I can go more details into that.
Okay.
But that was pretty much it, and it had a
Was
lot
it
of.
at least interesting?
It
Like,
was
as a
very
project?
interesting. It was very interesting, and
Okay.
I learned a lot, such as like database connection pools, different AWS resources, a lot of security protocols because AWS is a big company, and it was pretty interesting personally, like the project. But the execution was kind of not what I was expecting, so I did not get a return offer, unfortunately, because my trust battery was not okay. Well, I totally agree with that because I was trying to finish the project since that was like the first criteria that they assess whether you get a return offer or not. Eventually, at the end of my internship, my manager said like, yeah, that is a criteria, but it's not the most important one. If you didn't finish your project and you had more trust, then you would have maybe gotten a return offer. I was like, that's not what they told me.
I'd agree with them though. Like, I don't think finishing the project is
I
the
totally
most
agree,
important
but every single person that I spoke with eventually told me like, yeah, like no one ever got a return offer. Well, no one that they know got a return offer if they didn't finish the project.
Carl, would you rather, if you were giving a task or a project and a small timeline, would you rather finish it knowing you do your best or you didn't do the most efficient way possible? Or would you stick to your guts, work the way you wanted, the most efficient way, the best way you think is possible, just go over the time limit?
That's a good question.
Time management is very important. I get asked this question in every interview I've done. So
Right.
this is an interview question that you are going to get asked. So what are your thoughts?
That's a good question. I think it depends. I know that's a consultant type of answer, but I think it really depends on the scenario. Whether if you're doing an internship and from a standpoint of me looking at it where they will only give me a return offer only if I finish the project, then I would make my way into finishing the project without giving a lot of effort to the details of it. But if it's more in a scenario where I'm building my own project and I tend towards being a perfectionist in everything that I do. So I kind of like to take my time, even though it takes that much to like make it perfect in a way. So I would say it really depends. Well, what do you think about this?
No, I totally agree.
I
Like,
agree.
but the issue was if you're given a project that you cannot finish unless you do this.
If you knew you cannot finish it, then you should have just stuck to your gut from the beginning.
Oh no, you don't have a choice. They give you a project, and that's it.
I feel like you have to also couple that with all the leadership principles that they have. Like you have to kind of tackle all of the leadership principles. For those who don't know, Amazon has this list of 13 leadership principles that every employee, every worker has to abide by. I don't know if that's
you don't focus on everything
What
as
are
a software
they
engineer. For example, work backwards, customer first. So that's one of the most important things, and that's what made Amazon one of the biggest companies on this planet. It's because they value customers, of course. It's called customer obsession, by the way. So you look at the customer, you see what they want, and you work backwards from there. It's not like, oh, we want to do this, and then we start building things, and then you get to a point where, no, wait, that's not the highest priority for a customer.
Yeah.
So customer retention and even like
Customer-driven decisions, basically.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to going about any project. To be honest, if you think about it,
always right.
yeah, customer is always right. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's technically it. And and by the way, customers is not always end users.
Could also be vendors.
No, those are kind of also end users, like people that are not in Shopify and Amazon. Sorry. So for example, suppose you're working on an internal project, the customer would be your manager or your skip manager or someone in the organization.
Oh, okay.
That could be your customer, for example, and you try to get from them requirements and all that stuff. So, for example, I spoke a lot with the person who created the idea of this project, and I had that like from my review at the end of my internship. They told me like where I did well and where I did wrong. The customer obsession was nice. Ownership is very important, and I got it because like I had to like you have to own your project. But like the earn trust part was not okay for me. So that's what like
Probably lost trust more than
Yeah.
you.
Oh yeah.
they had
My
they had the
mentor
right though.
shat on me.
Yeah, like you had I want to say bad luck for the circumstances you were in, but at the same times you could have played your cards better.
Yeah, of
But
course.
it's all a learning curve. It was a first internship at a big company
Yeah.
like this.
And I'm short-tempered.
Well,
Everyone knows that.
That's the
that's the
problem.
thing. That's the thing.
I have anger issues.
I would arguably say that this would be the best path that you would take.
Yeah.
Because you'd rather not get the return offer being yourself than get the return offer being someone's fucking slave, right?
Yeah,
Like
totally.
you don't want to not be yourself, and then
Essentially, you
fucking-
have to change yourself in order to like.
yeah, that's not the
That's
way
not
to go.
called adapting to a company. That's just fucking
yeah.
weak.
Yeah. That's not even sustainable for you or the company.
Yeah, your mental health will deteriorate
Yeah.
very,
Also,
very
this is
quickly.
not about work. Like this is about life. Because once you have a mindset in something, it's a life mindset. If
Yeah.
you cheat on an exam, you cheat. I'm not gonna say like on a girl or anything, but it's just about the idea that if you change your mentality or your morals or your ethics or whatever it is for a particular reason, such as the company or basically the way you do your things, then this is the way you're living your life. It's not just goes back
Yeah.
to working at a company.
Yeah, I remember a quote from Steve Jobs that says, if you want to be a leader, you don't have to make people happy. If you want to make people happy, just sell ice cream. It's like you want to be a leader, just be honest with whatever you're doing, whether it's you being a leader trying to get some constructive feedback, or you being in a teachable position where you want to be honest with yourself and actually like show off your weaknesses and show off your strength and just
Kind of
be
ironic.
yourself.
Amazon calls them leadership principles just to make
Yeah.
you a slave. Like,
That's-
bro.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited for the internship.
Oh, I've been
'Cause-
shitting. I've been shitting.
Yeah, this is
You've been
lowering
shitting,
your
but I'm
excitement.
actually under the table, very
I'm telling
very excited.
you,
You're
I'm
gonna go
telling you,
in
it
and get
depends
shit
on
done,
you.
yeah?
I'm gonna get you.
Yes,
I'm gonna
right,
bring
get shit
Shopify
done.
slogan
GSD.
to fucking Amazon.
Good luck with that. It depends on. It always depends on your team. That's what I'm gonna say.
That's true. I feel like luck plays a lot with it. You had a team that was, I don't want to say shitty, but it was in a position where you were moving into another.
circumstances
Yeah,
were
the
bad.
circumstance was not like on your side. I hope I will be in a position where like I'm in
That's
a,
the thing
I'm
with
in a
FAANG,
team.
you know, like there's a high, like, since there's like a lot of teams, so due to having like a lot of teams, there's gonna be like teams that are very good, teams that are very bad. They're not gonna all follow one kind of like work ethic, if you want. So it always depends on your team. So for example, like when I started a startup, the whole since it's a small company, every team has an effect on the other team. So if one team is good, then all the teams are going to be like kind of the same vibe, you know? So there's not going to be a big chance of you getting into a terrible team, not terrible team, it's just like something that does not fit your vibe. So whenever you're interviewing with someone, for example, when I was interviewing with Deliver, I looked at everyone, they were like almost my age, maybe like tops 10 years older. So they were like, I was kind of vibing with the interviewers. I was like talking, we were like having fun. It was a fun interview. I didn't even notice it was an interview. But like at Amazon,
These are the best type of interviews.
yeah, those
that's
are
true.
yeah. And then the thing is, when they're talking with you like that,
When they're interactive, when they're interested. when
Yeah.
you see
The
them,
best
like-
interviews are more like podcasts where you have a fucking discussion with the
exactly
with the
yeah, like a
interviewer.
conversation. It's not like even though behavioral questions, like instead of just answering like a robot, like star method because I read that in the book. Yeah, so the situation is this. The task is this and that. No, just fucking let him ask you a question. Answer in a very like
experience, like something that happened with you.
yeah something
Yeah.
and like you don't have to stick to a format and just answer
Yeah,
questions as if
exactly.
they're like on a test or something.
I know people
Yeah.
who read like they memorize. They're gonna say like it's always good to prepare, of course, but like
Memorizing
not having a
is
script,
so like
like a professional script, because
It's like it's like they're talking to ChatGPT, bro.
the person who's
Exactly.
interviewing you, he's also interviewing 10 other people the same day. They don't want the same generic, like the same
They're looking
answer.
for someone unique who can fit
Yeah.
their vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Also, touching back about the thing about the circumstances and the teams you're dealt, like this is also something life's gonna throw you in. You're always gonna be in circumstances that you don't want to be in, and just being able to make the best out of it. Either way, you know you don't want to be here. Just, as long as you're here, you give it your 150%. It's always gonna work your way.
It's on point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be in Canada. That I got depressed when I first moved to Canada.
Still depressed.
Still depressed. But yeah, like the idea was I was depressed when I moved to Canada and I wasn't giving it my all. I was just sitting at home watching TV all day. Like I literally gave up. I'm like, okay, I can't wait for this 3-4 years to pass so I can dip out of this country. But then like I had the change in mindset. See, like, okay, I'm here now. Might as well give it my all. I know I'm gonna leave in the future. Since I'm here, let's do 150%.
Gotta make the
And-
best out of it.
Yeah, and from there, I've been very happy and yeah, growing and
Yeah.
You want
doing
some
well.
tissue?
It's very.
Still,
It's,
still hate this fucking place though.
I feel like crying. That's good to hear, man. Like Canada is also super depressing by itself. I would say. Like
Like imagine working, and then like by the time you finish work, or
It's
not even
dark, bro.
like
It's
at 3-4 p.m.
Yeah.
the sun is not there anymore.
I wake up when
Yeah.
it's dark. I finish work when it's dark, bro. It's
Yeah.
like not motivation.
Well, look, to be honest, working remotely kind of has its benefits, even though like you're just at home every single day.
Yeah, but like
Mm.
when you finish work, what do you do? Like you're still at home, you know. Like you want to
Yeah,
get out
but-
of this place.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's what I said. It has
Oh, yeah.
its benefits, but like I'm not saying it's the best thing to do. Like in my opinion, a hybrid kind of
Yeah, that's the
thing
best.
is the best. You
Mm.
get the best of both worlds. You know, like seeing people and your office not being your bedroom. You know,
Yeah.
like not waking up, taking 2 steps, and oh, I'm at the office now. You know, like
yeah.
But what's nice about it, you start work at 9, you can wake up 9:05, and it's
Exactly. Just,
Listen, I want to talk about something. Working in software engineer the past, I want to say, 3-4 years, it's a booming industry. Everyone's looking for software engineers. There's more demand than supply. Employee retention is very important. Please, enlighten us about the benefits and the things Shopify do to retain their employees.
yeah.
Talk about it. Talk to us about this.
So Shopify values, of course, they want to keep employees, and they're like the layoff that happened not a long time ago was not a very strong layoff. Like they kind of laid out after the M&A people that are in HR, sales, or support. So engineers were like untouched. But it was sad because like the HR that I interviewed with at first, like I went on the second I got like the email about layoffs. I looked at Slack. I was like, I wanted to reach out to her, and then it says like on Slack deactivated.
oh, that's sad.
I was like, no way.
It's like someone saving your life and then dying.
Bro,
That's actually
It's like-
fuck.
yeah, it was depressing, man. Like I had to reach out to her on email.
I love
Yeah.
HR, man. I have a
Definitely like
No,
HR,
no.
man.
I have a coffee chat with the person who hired me at L'Oreal. I'm getting him a bottle of wine. No, the guy's
Oh,
really
that's
G.
nice.
That's nice and smart. It's,
Yeah.
it's smart. Like actually, it's very. It's also like bringing back to the circumstances. You should also make the best out of the circumstances. Just be friendly with all the people that you're working with.
Yeah.
But yeah, like go on.
For sure, yeah. So the benefits are pretty nice. So in order to like keep employees, one of the benefits is like unlimited PTO, unlimited pay time off, which is something that you can't abuse.
Wait.
What does
Can you say that again?
Oh yeah.
Unlimited.
Oh yeah. When I read this, I was like, nah. Well, that was a deliver benefit as well, because yeah. Wait. Unlimited, as in endless, paid time off.
I feel like that's
Wait.
too good to be true.
Hold
man.
on. That's too good to be
I
true.
don't get that.
That's what
Why
I
are you
thought.
waking up every morning to work then?
Yeah,
But
can you
that's-
just like
Yeah,
Can't you
but-
just PTO the whole fucking life?
Well,
Just
some-
fucking
man said for life?
send it,
Well,
man.
no, I met some people who took like a 3-month off and went like a safari in Africa or some shit like that. It was nice, and the thing is, if you think about it, those people are not gonna change companies soon. those people came from Google. They came to deliver as a startup, and they are loving it. Like they come back from their unlimited paid time off, refreshed and energetic and ready to work. And it proved, like, some people, I think you can look it up.
That's true.
Like some companies are also implementing that unlimited paid time off as well, and it kind of boosted productivity, because, like, suppose someone is taking off and then when they come back, they want to work hard for their promotion. You know, like, if they want to work hard for a promotion, they're gonna work their ass off, and they have this energy that's like they want to expense during their work. So like in the past 7 months, I've taken around like one month and a half off, well, not consecutively, but it's pretty nice. So
that's crazy.
So, but the thing is, you can't consciously you can't abuse that, because you want to, when you work at a company, you want to gain experience, you want to learn a lot of stuff, you want to make your mark in the company. You want to impress, you want to get promoted. You can't stay at the same spot for like endless time. So you take those, like, it's also a good exercise for time management. So you can take whenever you want time off, but the thing is, if you have a serious project and you take that time off, you're gonna be frowned upon, you know. And even though your manager maybe like approves your time off, you're gonna push a lot of projects, deadlines, and all that stuff. So whenever you have your responsibilities, you just work your ass off, and all this energy that you had from your unlimited PTO, you're just gonna expenses on the project, and it's gonna be way more productive than usual. That's my take on it. So
also, if you want to take that time off, you need to impress him enough to be able to take that time off and not think, oh my god, like, am I doing, like, do I deserve this? Am I doing something wrong? So you work hard to deserve it. But you know what's crazy? I heard about this. UK, they're doing it now. They did a test. They ran it for like a couple of months, and presumably it increased productivity. 4-day work week.
It makes a lot of sense, though. It does make sense, that result, because if they give you only, say, 30 days off, you will use 30 of them for sure, because that's unlimited. So you're like, fuck this company, I'm gonna do all 30. Yeah, if it's free, the ethical side of you is gonna play out more.
Exactly.
You're gonna say, okay, well, do I actually deserve that unlimited amount of cookies? Right? If you have 30 cookies, you'll just fucking eat them all.
Gym, so I can deserve the cookies.
Yeah, exactly, right?
100%.
So I think that's a very smart move by Shopify. And I think that actually, I don't know if they did the stats of it, like calculated it, but maybe that actually brought less PTOs than if they put in a limit to that.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe someone wants to just grind.
I don't know about that.
Or maybe
except for this guy.
Except for Jimmy. Jimmy lowered the average of fucking PTO. He was like, I'm gonna fuck the stats up.
When they want to do their like metrics, they just remove Jimmy from there.
If they remove Jimmy, bro, it's like a peak.
Oh my god.
So you grab Jimmy up there.
No, but like the thing is, those people that like take that unlimited PTO, they don't take it consecutively. You know what I mean? Like they don't take, for example, oh, it's gonna take a week off, you know, and just not show up. No, they take like, for example, 1 or 2 days, and they have like a long weekend. For example, I'm gonna take Friday off or Monday off, and then they just, you know, like have a long weekend, and then they come back to work feeling refreshed and all that stuff. And even though like Shopify actually encouraged us to every month at least take like 1 or 2 days off. It's
nice. It's
every 2 weeks. Oh no, in summer they had this like summer Fridays. Every 2 weeks, 1 Friday of them is off.
Yeah, a lot of companies are doing that. I think Deloitte also does this in summer. For L'Oreal, it's every Friday you finish at 12.
Oh, that's nice.
That's something.
And on Mondays, from 9 a.m. to 12, you're not allowed to have a meeting.
Oh yeah, we have that.
That's nice.
In
it's
Shopify,
called
we have a day full of no meetings.
Is that called? No,
I
that's
forgot what it's called, but it's actually a nice idea because
gives
Monday
you
morning
time.
you just came back from a long weekend.
Oh no,
So
that's
you don't wanna
not
sit
the
in
thought
meetings.
process behind like Shopify. When they have like on Wednesdays, you can't put a meeting in.
Why? What's the point? Just for
Just
productivity.
focus on your fucking shit and get shit done. That's part of the GSD,
bro.
That's
Right.
like no Wednesday, but like we act like some. I have like a couple of meetings on Wednesday, but like they're not one of those long meetings.
Yeah, like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
All hands meeting.
Yeah, so like usually you can block off your calendar on Wednesday so that people don't book you, but It's all good.
Speaking of big companies and small companies, Carl, now when did you graduate?
Like the end of the year, December 2023.
Okay, nice.
Uh,
So
if
now
everything
you
goes
have
well.
an internship and then a
Yeah.
semester and then you graduate.
Yep. Yeah.
Do you want to work for FAANG, big corporation, or do you want to go for a startup vibe?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I've never actually experienced what FAANG company.
You're about
like,
to.
Yeah, you're about
yeah,
to.
I'm about to, right? And I've heard a lot of like shitty stories. Like your experience was shitty. I've also heard a lot of good
Okay, yeah.
experiences, right? So I want to kind of have my own personal experience, see how it goes.
Of course.
The team is gonna help a lot with me kind of picking my route, whether I want to stay or not. But well, they're also gonna have their say, right? They're gonna give me the return offer or not. But there's definitely more kind of learning, I would imagine, in average to be in a startup than to be in a FAANG company.
Yeah, definitely.
Because your hands are like so like dirty into here and there, so it's it gets you more exposure, I would say, to the go pace.
I agree, but at the same time, working
No,
for a big
it's-
corporation, you understand how like an established, because all these companies, the
No,
big
that's
big
the
companies.
thing. If you're in a big company, you don't learn how that part. You don't learn about that part. Like, let me tell you about the actual differences between a startup and a FAANG or a big company. So at Amazon, like, you have a lot of tools, like a lot of in-house built tools that help you as a dev and, you know, like increase your productivity. They have like this. I'm not gonna talk about the tools; they're endless. But literally, they have their own Stack Overflow. Stack Overflow is like it's like a forum where whenever you don't find an answer, you just go there and you'll definitely find the answer.
Don't you think these are like, I want to say, technical skills that these softwares and these?
Oh yeah, you have to know how to Google. Of course.
Yeah, like these are skills.
It's
that
like
you learn- you don't
90% of
do-
the
you don't
fucking
do
It's
job.
like 90% of the job, like fucking Command C, Command V.
Do you learn these
Yeah.
in startups as well?
Well, that's the thing. No, like Googling.
No, not Googling, but like all these different type of KPIs and things you do at big companies that honestly small companies don't even
The
have the
thing
resources.
is, at big companies, the problem with big companies is it's not a problem, but you're very narrowed down. You're a very small cog in a
Yeah.
big ass machine, and you're just focused, and you're working on with your team on a small thing that might not be very impactful, and then you have to wait for like you have to work at a big company for like I don't know how long until you get promoted, until you get more responsibility, until you get placed on a very nice impactful project. So yeah, that's my point of view. Like, even though you have a lot of tools, you have a lot of resources in your pocket at a big company, you're still not going to be very impactful in terms of like the projects you're working on or you're put on, because companies very well established. They're just, you know, like finding shit to work on. Like, create this to do this to like monitor this, even though it doesn't have any valuable impact.
Right.
It's nice to have.
That's a very interesting point that you bring, because I hear a lot of I know a lot of people that start off in FAANG companies but go down to startups after that.
Everyone does.
I
that.
feel
Because-
like that's the smartest though.
You get your technical experience.
Yeah.
You get all the thing like, oh, they built it that way. That's interesting. They built it that way. That's interesting.
They've
Yeah.
already learned what not to do and what to do.
But the thing is, when you're working with microservices, we're working with a lot of stuff. At a company like, for example, Amazon, you don't get to see, for example, how everything gets connected and works.
Yeah,
You're just
that's
working on a very narrowed down thing. Like, I was on a team that was responsible for monitoring
Right.
monitoring availability for like a smaller thing that's part of a small thing that's part of big thing that's part of a dynamo. Like, I had a shit ton of managers that get to, like, I was maybe 7, 8, or 9 layers down in the chain until I get to the director of DynamoDB, for example.
Right.
But on the other hand, like, I was a deliver. My manager's manager reports to the CEO.
Right. So you add more kind of access to whatever
you're working
whatever's
on
happening.
impactful
You
shit.
have more visibility as
You have
well.
more
Yeah,
visibility.
because
Yeah.
If there's 3 layers above you, okay, you talk to your manager, you have an idea or something.
Mm.
Okay, you do like a demo, you talk to his manager, you're already up there.
Yeah.
So
and the
it
nice
gives a lot
thing
of
about it
visibility.
is, it's a company that is still small. Not a lot of things are implemented, you know. So the projects that are being prioritized are impactful. Like, people are gonna actually see those from cross teams, unlike, you know, FAANG companies. So, for example, I'm working on Like for example, one of the projects I worked at was address validation, which is something that's not actually implemented anywhere because it's very like specific in our use case. So I worked on enabling our system to validate an address, whether it's a good address to ship to. So like this block right here, if this doesn't exist, everything falls down. You can't deliver anything. You don't know if I give you this address, how do you know that you can deliver there? You don't know. So like the projects that you work on are fucking huge.
So that's what happens when I put the wrong address, right?
Jimmy, you fucked up, man.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty interesting. Like each one has pros and cons. But the thing is, for example, in startups, a lot of things are just like, just not implemented yet, or like not a lot of tools are in your disposal, or for example, some stuff are not implemented well because it's a startup, it's fast paced. So you run into a lot of bugs. For example, on the project I'm currently working on, it took me 2 days to test something that I had 1 day to develop. Like I worked on something implementation wise, took me 1 day. It took me 2 days to test it because not everything was set up. An API from a different team was crashing, which was relying on this, which was relying on that. Tokens were expiring. It's like not very well structured, even though it works. So this needs time to become well stable, like big companies.
Right.
So pros and cons. Pros, impactful projects, interesting. You learn a lot. You have your own stage to come up with ideas. For example, I came up with like an idea not a long time ago, and now like Q2, I'm gonna start working on that. Like you have more ownership over your project. I feel like
the risks are higher though.
But that's nice.
Yeah, it's part of the process. If there's any time to take risks, it's now when we don't have anything to lose. Like if there's something that I want to pursue but it's risky, I would bet everything I have right now on it because I don't have anything.
Yeah,
we're still so young. We don't have anything.
It's also fun, man. Like there's this fun factor to it where you just want to like put yourself in that risky mode, because life is all about fun, right? Like you don't want to just make money. Like, okay, just if you press a button and make money every day without doing anything, I wouldn't want to press that button.
Stuck in the matrix.
Stuck
in the matrix.
Stuck in the matrix. Well, come on. Like, I'm down to just press a button and get one. But like that's technically software engineering though.
Well,
buttons.
Well, it depends on the team. Yeah.
What about computer science? The same.
Bro.
Ooh, let's talk about this. Because I know there's this tension.
There's
in
a
this
big
room.
rat in the room.
I feel the tension in the room, man.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Okay, so you were in software engineering, right?
For context, yeah.
I'm in computer science.
Yeah, I had more credits to do.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, but like shitty credits. Like, who cares about those credits?
Well, okay. Do you have software validation courses?
Well, that's only one course.
No, that's not only one course. Do you have, for example, what's it called? Intro to software. Like, do you learn about?
Well, you guys are talking about this. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Yeah, go
finish this conversation.
Go ahead.
I'm a finance bro.
Yeah.
We're talking about finance shit. Got me.
We're gonna have a debate here, hot debate.
Comp sci to learn structuring and like opening a company and all that stuff and coming up with things like that. You have to go through experience, you know. But as a software engineer, you have those courses that like kind of tell you about how the like real world is when you want to open up your own app, how you start like creating a roadmap. Like, have you ever had a course where you create a roadmap to an application, and like for example, getting user requirements from a user, software requirements, for example, that course I'm referring to.
Well,
did you ever have something similar?
Well, not in a very practical way. Computer science is more into like theoretical and abstract stuff. But here's the thing, though. You have 70 credits that you can attain in computer science, and you have to put 120 credits, right? So I have 50 credits left. So if you're actually very curious about those stuff, you can pour in those 50 credits into those, which what I did. Like database systems, for example, which is the course that I'm taking right now. It shows you how database. It's very interesting, and it's something that is not required in computer science. But if you're actually curious to learn about those stuff, then you have that opportunity, right? If you don't care about GPA and you wanna really actually learn stuff, that's the thing. And one thing that I would argue against software engineering.
Just one question before you continue.
Yeah, go.
Do you have an engineering ring?
Bro, I don't give a fuck about an engineering.
Okay.
Who gives a fuck about an engineer?
Ego, it's talking.
Why would you?
You're not an engineer. Computer science, not engineering.
Yeah.
Hey, here, let me tell you something. I don't want to talk.
Sorry.
Let me tell you something, man. Okay, look at this. Software engineering, you only learn practical stuff. Once you want to learn abstract stuff, there's no way in fucking hell that after you graduate, you're going to want to learn about abstract stuff. But here's the thing about... I'm going to tell you what it is. Computer science really teaches you the abstract stuff. And what I mean by abstract stuff is the ins and outs about how like low level everything is built in terms of computation. Do you learn Comp 330?
Yeah, you can take it.
You can take it, but you don't have it.
It's
like
the same
not all software
thing.
engineers.
Did you take it?
It's the same thing. No, because it's hard.
He didn't take it.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Graduate, bro. I'm shit in studying.
Here's the
We
thing,
talked
though.
about this, by the way. Remember? We just talked about this. He didn't want to take it. He didn't take it because it's hard.
Because it's hard.
Yeah.
Like there's many people in software and in computer science that only want GPA. So you saying that you can take it doesn't mean that
I don't
everyone
want the
would
GPA.
take it.
I want to graduate. It's a difference.
Yeah, there's a
C's
difference.
get degrees,
Ask
okay?
him how many times he failed discrete math.
How many times?
He has PTSD on discrete math.
Stop saying those words. I finally passed out with a B, okay?
The B, nice,
With
my
a B.
guy.
With a B, bro. I thought I was failing, by the way. I was about to like go on Minerva and try to like, register for the next semester. I was like, no fucking way. I went to this final exam and I'm graduating. And then I look at like, oh, I got a B. Nice.
Okay, so here's the thing. Let me finish my thought. So computer science, you have you go into the abstract thing, the abstract low level of things, right? But the practical side that is not in computer science, you can take that from any internship that you do in summer or whatever it is. So you actually have that practical experience from internship and the abstract knowledge of what goes ins and out of a computer. But here's the thing about software: they only teach you about practical. So all you do is practical stuff.
Courses, but not as much as.
Well, yeah, it's all relative, right? So
Yeah,
it's computer science has relatively more abstract stuff.
Yeah,
than,
so
than
basically
computer
computer science, and it's in the word. It's the science behind the software or like any theories. It's like the abstract stuff.
Yeah.
Engineering, like software engineering, like what is an engineer? Okay, he designs solutions, right, to problems. So a software engineer, you learn how to design software as a solution. It's for comp sci, you're just learning the low level, in my opinion, useless shit, like the very low level granular shit that I don't give a shit about,
Shitting on your.
I'm gonna get all my CS friends. I'm gonna fuck you up, bro. I'm gonna fuck you up. We're gonna hack you, bro. Come
Just
on.
a bunch of
We're gonna do some abstract math to fuck your Shopify account.
Just bring discrete math, bro. It's
I'll
the
just
weakness,
bring
I
discrete
promise.
math. You got a B. I got a fucking A in discrete math. I know my shit, bro. I know my shit.
Okay, but what does it like? How does it? Yeah,
Do
some
you even
courses.
use these? Do you
Some
use these?
courses.
What in like software?
I don't
Like
know,
in
like
Some
life.
courses are useless.
They are.
as
Yeah,
fuck.
that's true.
Like
That's very true.
I never ever, applied anything I learned in discrete math and like fucking software. Like maybe just a tiny little bit in permutations.
Yeah.
But that's it.
One could argue that you would use the thinking, like the
logical and critical thinking.
Yeah, the logical and applying it to other. It's like a tool that you would use it in other stuff. But
Well, let me tell you
go
about that. Those things that you, for example, design and all that stuff, not only they come basically from experience, like designing projects and shit. But in my opinion, there are some really good books that tackle these things very thoroughly. For example, one of my nice books that I'm still reading because it's long, and it's not like a book that you read once and you just throw away on the side. It's like a book that you always open every 5 minutes while you're working.
When you
You're
need
like,
something. Yeah.
what is it called?
design patterns. So it teaches you how to basically, approach a problem using reusable code. Like for example, you want to work on implementing something. How can I implement this in a way that I can abstract this code and maybe use it somewhere else? Like for example, I cannot come up with an example right now since it's a very abstract thing. But like instead of, for example, just going straight forward for a solution and just even though it's efficient, even though for example it's OFN or even less, even though it's an efficient solution, it's not always the best because you design it in a way that you're gonna have to code again for something else instead of for using this. So you code in a way thinking like, this is my company or this is the product I'm working on. in a future iteration, how can I reuse the stuff that I'm working on right now and somewhere else? So it's pretty interesting and it's pretty challenging. That's like one of the challenging stuff when designing something. And
Is it there a course for this in McGill? Like design
something
patterns?
that's pretty close to it. It's called what is it called? Model-driven develop.
Model-driven software development. It's 522, I think.
It's a 5 level. It's a 500
Yeah,
level
it's a
course.
500 level course. Yeah, I've seen that.
That one, it was one of my favorite courses that I took.
I have a question.
software
Correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong because I'm not really in this industry, but no more heat. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not in this industry. But as a software engineer, like implementing something doesn't have to be hard, but coming up with the idea to implement it is hard, right? So like you said, creative thinking and coming up with the way to the solution is hard, but the solution itself is easy, you know?
Well, both are hard in their own way, I think. Like designing the idea, and for example, let's talk about backend, right? Because backend is gonna, I think it would take the most time, right, in building a project.
Yeah.
Designing the kind of the database, how entities relate to other entities. I think that is some part of like the hardness of it, but also the implementation is hard. Also, the coding takes a lot of time, and you have to be mindful of how to code in a way that's reusable, understandable, and
readable.
and readable. Yeah, you have to have software engineers come in after and see this code and not fucking complain about the code and ask you about it, about every line of it.
Do you feel like as a computer side major, do you have that advantage over the software where you have the creative mind more than a technical
Oh, of course.
side?
Yeah, of course.
No.
Of course.
We're going
Of
back to
course.
cinema.
No,
Of course.
bro, no.
Of
What do you
course.
mean, of course?
Of course.
You don't
What
have,
do
you
you
don't
mean?
have nice design patterns as a comp.
What's the point of computer science and software engineering? Why isn't it one degree? That's
So
the question.
comp sci, you learn the not the how, not the why, the how.
The how, which is
The
something that's very important.
It is important. I'm not saying it's not important, but I don't give a shit about
Do you
it.
not learn the how?
Personally, well, you don't go into details that much. For example, let's say you want to do this. Software engineering, they're going to tell you have to do that.
He comes in and he tells you,
Like how this is actually broken down and why you have to use
oh,
that.
Yeah, exactly.
okay. Part of your job
works,
is
it works.
Googling, right? Like, I want to say you don't know everything that you want to
But
know.
it's more practical stuff. Software engineering stuff are more Googleable than computer science topics. I'm going to tell you why. Because low-level stuff are not Googleable.
Yeah, you need
You
to
cannot
learn.
Google about how a fucking algorithm works. And like you have to watch
ChatGPT
a
for
lecture.
dummies. How does algorithm works for dummies?
You can
do
go
that.
with that, but it's going to be shallow as fuck. It's not going to be very thorough.
Yeah, but
It's not gonna-
well, I've tried a couple weeks ago. I've tried to build my own app in one day using ChatGPT. I was like, okay, I'm a beginner. I don't know anything about software, so I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to help me, and it did a lot of work for me. I built a web app that took me one day. That with ChatGPT, without GPT, I would have taken like 10 days maybe. But it does help you a lot with foundational stuff. But I would imagine Jimmy, for example, is working with a lot of databases with a huge code base. ChatGPT is not gonna know shit about it, or like except you actually give it as input all the code base, which is
you can do that though. You can do that.
You could do that, but here's the thing: ChatGPT is smart and is usable in a lot of scenarios, like writing essays and writing like.
Not only that, but on
for
Excel
example,
as well. I had a project today. I was working on a task, and it's on a spreadsheet. It's on an Excel spreadsheet, and I needed basically to get the sales of the last 4 weeks. And it's on an entire row, and every time a new week comes out, it directly updates the week. So I was trying to come up with a formula that directly updates the last 4 weeks. You don't have to change the row settings to the last 4 weeks. And honestly, I didn't know the formula. I asked ChatGPT.
But that's something that you can Google as well.
Exactly. Isn't that something you think that you would Google, and maybe you would put in more effort to find the link that gives you the best answer?
That's the beauty of ChatGPT. When you're Googling,
true.
You have to search for what you want. ChatGPT gets you exactly what you want from the question.
Well, you have to be in software eng. Like, for example, let's say I worked with ChatGPT once. I tried it out. Not very efficient and not even very effective.
So
everything.
In what way? I need you to explain in what way, because I want to know how you could use that in Shopify.
Yeah. So, for example, I tried. I was working with rejects, regular expressions. Something nasty, by the way. I don't know. You know about them.
It will just give a brief
Context.
context.
Yeah, it's suppose you have like, for example, a sentence and you want to be able to detect whether it matches a pattern matching.
Okay.
So it's basically pattern matching. Told ChatGPT what I want to pattern match, and it was very inefficient in terms of like execution time. It took way more time to like actually detect the pattern. It had some missing edge cases, all that stuff. So maybe it gives you a base, like just as you were saying, Carl, like some foundation if you want. But some solutions require like, delicate hands.
Yeah. A lot of
Obviously,
solutions
yeah.
have human factor in it. And
For example, like in terms of efficiency, what's better in your use case. For example, you have a company, have a big product. ChatGPT doesn't know shit about it.
yeah. That's
Like
true.
it doesn't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't know your requirements, or maybe like your low level needs, or like maybe even like it doesn't think in the future. It just gathers everything from, I'm guessing, Stack Overflow. It gathers anything from Google and tries to
Yeah.
provide it to you. It's not like a human being.
Yeah, it just looks intelligent only because it has
Yeah.
this huge
100%,
amount of code base. A huge amount of like inputs. I'll give you an example how ChatGPT can be done, right? I told ChatGPT yesterday, and I sent you that yesterday. I was like, ChatGPT, 33 plus 33 is 99.
Yeah.
And it was like, no, 33 plus 33 is 66. I was like, no, it is 99. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Indeed, for sure, you're right. It's 33 plus 33 is indeed equal to 99.
But you have to understand that this is machine learning.
It is, yeah. So it's learning based on the input.
When it first
Yeah.
came out, I want to say I was part of the 5 million people who was using it on the first 5 days of it. And I remember asking it a question and it didn't know the answer to. And every single day I would keep asking the same question. It took her 3 or 4 days, I want to say, before it knew the answer.
Did it keep getting better by the day?
Yes. And so this is something where I find it's very useful. And now Microsoft, I want to say, I'm not sure about the right number, maybe $45 billion. Fact check this. They invested in OpenAI and now they want to use it. They're in the process. I saw a LinkedIn post, the CEO of Microsoft talking today. They're rolling it out now in all of its products. So imagine ChatGPT in Teams, or I don't know what other products it can implement it in. But
Yeah.
I feel like this is something that,
Yeah, that's the thing. Having it as an API, like an open-ended API, like you can use it to
imagine it's like
actually
an
help.
extension, bro, where you
Yeah,
can have it on the
yeah.
screen. You're on
That's
Excel,
not
you're on Teams,
ChatGPT.
you're on something. Hey,
That's
it's the
the thing.
technology.
That's
It's the
OpenAI.
technology.
That's
Okay, we're
OpenAI.
talking about the technology of it. Where do you see the future of this? Okay, now maybe it's in the beginning of it, but do you see this growing in a way that it's gonna replace anyone, any job?
Yeah, well, no, I don't
that's a good
think-
question.
I don't think so. I don't think it can replace any job because
Any job.
I'm not talking
Be,
about
be, be
software
careful with
engineers.
your wording because
yeah.
when you say
Oh.
any job, that means all jobs are not going to be
yeah,
replaced
my
by
bad.
ChatGPT.
Some jobs could be replaced by ChatGPT someday, but of
Like
course
what?
they would. Some manual data entry stuff, or like maybe like some.
You don't need
Data
OpenAI for data
science,
entry.
maybe.
Data entry is
I'm not
easy.
sure.
But the thing is, like, you know what I did? I did a LinkedIn post and I wrote like a big post, and at the end I was like, P.S. This was written by ChatGPT, and it was a very well written post, and it was in very human format. Like you would read it and you would say like, yeah, that's fine.
That's
a person
Chris.
writing this.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Chris.
Time, maybe
So-
ask ChatGPT to create a resume for you.
Yeah, fuck.
And not steal any from
You can do that
fucking-
though. You can tell her I'm internship at Amazon and I'm studying computer science in McGill. Write me a cover letter for my
yeah.
cover letters. Maybe
It would write it.
That would be
it
very
write it
good.
very nicely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there are these businesses that do this, that write cover letters for you, that checks plagiarism for you, that does this and this and this. And I think that this software or this technology will replace all these. Like this is the new wave of technology that's gonna replace all the other Web 2.0 old shit that we have right now. No, Web 2.0 that we have right now.
Oh,
It's gonna replace all the shit. And what is your thought on Web 3.0?
you
Well,
asked 2.0 or 3.0?
No, 3.0.
Oh, 3.0.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I'm not.
decentralized.
I'm not really like I don't have that much context to it, but Web3 isn't that like built on blockchain
It is.
and like having the centralized, I mean, a decentralized system of users rather than someone like owning your.
Yeah, it's kind of less prone to data leaks, I guess.
Data leaks is a big issue, by the way. Like a lot of businesses, I was doing this study because I was applying to like a cybersecurity role, and data leaks.
Yeah, they bring down businesses.
They
Like
destroy
customers,
businesses.
customers lose. Like imagine
They
your
lose trust.
email and password just out there. Anyone could just mine them. You know.
It is fucked.
Yeah.
So it's not only that, but like in supply chain and in logistics, I think there's a big market for it. And already you see companies like 3M that are using now blockchain technology in their supply chain.
What,
and it's-
what does that do? What does that company do?
3M? You
Yeah.
don't know 3M? 3M, there's like this saying that you're no more than 3 feet away from a 3M product.
Isn't 3M the adhesive stuff, like the tapes? and all that
Everything,
shit?
bro. They do a lot of shit. But that's
I
one of
have
them,
that
yeah.
up. Like I.
Yeah, is it 3 feet away?
It's actually
Probably.
I have some stuff
There's something here. Yeah, like I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
for sure.
Like that's one of the sayings because it's like a huge conglomerate and they use this. And now I'm seeing it in aerospace. Aerospace parts, if they're all on the blockchain and there's like a digital copy of every part on the plane, then you can predict aircraft on ground. You can predict when a part needs maintenance, and you can
That's pretty cool.
solve a lot of problems.
Yeah.
And you see Air France and Lufthansa and now other companies that are moving towards a more digital, and now everyone's that is gonna move towards a digital. They're betting on Web 3.0.
That's a lot of
And then
interesting stuff.
what you have, then you have Facebook betting on the VR. They're the only company doing this, and they're
Bro.
throwing their life on it.
I don't
My
think
guy
they're the
Mark
only
is living in his
company.
own
What do you
VR
think? What do you
world,
think?
bro.
What do you think about this?
I don't know if Meta is the only company that's working on VR.
It is
It's not the only
biggest,
one, but
like,
it's the only one that's literally divesting everything they
Pouring
have into
endless
this.
money.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, like now everyone's saying if you want to be rich, you want to open a startup, open a VR startup, bro. Meta will buy you out.
Yeah, I feel like that's a very interesting point, like to point out, is that software development you may be better off developing or focusing on VR apps than building Web 2.0 like web apps or something like that now, because we could obviously see how we're getting into a place where VR will be their new iPhones, right? You're gonna use this, you're gonna put it on, you're gonna see whatever you want to see.
Yeah,
Works
people are just
from
roaming
home
around, just
in
not
office.
doing anything except
Yeah.
for like being in a virtual reality.
That's scary though. That's scary because I don't want to live that life. I don't want to live in a Black
Hey
Mirror
man,
episode.
if you go back 100 years, you could have said the same thing about what we're doing right now. Now all of our life is digital. Everything's on the computer.
Well,
everything's on
yeah,
this,
but
everything's
Phone
on
is
that.
not that scary. Phone is not that. Phone is actually a good thing. Even now that I
Saves
see it, like
lives, bro.
phone is very good. If you want to go to somewhere and you want to find how much time it will take, EDA on Google Maps is a very good. Like there are some tools that you use on a daily basis that you don't take for granted. They're really good using the phone. But when it comes to VR, that's when it's scary because your visuals, your sensory,
Yeah, your life.
your life is
What
just
about long
different.
distancing? What about real conference rooms? You have people like higher ups in
Fucking
companies
travel.
that travel.
Fucking
So
travel.
you say that so easy, but Google, like Elon Musk or Steve Jobs, not Steve Jobs. Sorry, what's the fuck called? Tim Cook's. What do you call the footprint? The carbon footprint, bro. They have carbon footprint of like 200,000 people a year. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like these, I'm not saying it's gonna cut everything out, but like this is the starting point where all the conference rooms, all our meetings, everything's gonna be on VR because and with the touch sensory and everything, I think it's a good way to go though. Like I see this as the future and I don't mind it.
I would see how it is more productive and more interactive, but I wouldn't see how it would be better for our mental health, to be honest.
Me neither.
Hey,
Like,
hey,
maybe-
nothing
maybe
we
it
do-
will, maybe-
nothing
Like
we
they
do-
started doing
Nothing we do
these
is for our
things.
mental health, my
No,
guy.
no,
Nothing
like,
we do is
they-
for nothing we do is for our
Oh
mental
yeah,
health.
for sure.
My guy, they
If you're
started
thinking
doing-
about your mental health, that's cap.
Yeah, they started doing like what's it called, like apps on VR. Like I've seen these ads, you know, like I was just watching, you know, TikTok and shit scrolling, and I see those ads about like someone on a VR and like he's working out. Like, bro, hit the fucking gym.
Yeah.
You know, like you just have those joysticks in your hand and you're just punching the air. Like, this is not a fucking workout. Go lift some weights.
Yeah, but what are you talking about? You do the same thing. Don't you
What do you-
play the fucking games in the VR?
I play those games, but they're not workouts for me. Like those people are like, tired of the gym or some shit like that. download this app and start working. Like, bro, no, get this shit off your fucking head
Yeah.
and
But
go work out like a human being.
You're comparing two different markets, because right now you still have these. You put on the TV, you watch them do the workout, and you do it in your living room. That's what you need to compare VR to, because in VR you put on your VR, you're in the class, you're working for you're
But
working
no, that's
from
not
home.
what that's not the app that I'm talking about in VR. The VR app that I'm talking about is, okay, first of all, your
I'm
eyes.
saying you're comparing them to two different things.
Well, people that are working at home,
yeah.
they're actually not just like, even you put a VR, okay, you can follow a class. I don't have any objections on that. But I've seen those apps that are like, oh, those are like boxes coming at you. You just do like this.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like those, and also like VR right now at the moment is not very well, you know.
It's a start. It's a start.
But it's a
If you
very
look- if
slow
you
start. Like,
look
I
back
have
15
VR.
years. Look back 15 years. What was the phone that we had, bro? You had these phones and you have to open it.
Yeah, but the thing is, this was a long time ago, with like IoT being very, very, very like back in the future. Like right now, technology is not, you know, evolving in a linear way. It's evolving in an
100%.
exponential way.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, linear is straight.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not developing like
It
that.
is. It is.
No.
It is definitely moving.
It's
that
moving
way.
exponentially, man.
No, it's moving
Like
exponentially.
you don't know. It's actually statistically true that it's exponentially growing. Like you would see, like,
You're saying we're gonna
technology-
reach where we're gonna be stagnant on our growth? There's
We're
no
gonna
way,
keep
bro.
growing, keep
No
going.
way.
I think
faster
what
and
is-
faster.
Oh yeah. Oh
You're thinking
yeah.
about
Sorry,
logarithmic.
it's like that.
Sorry,
It's
yeah.
like exponential
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
growth.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's even. You're just proving my point even more.
No, that's what I'm saying, because VR is right. How long? When was the first VR created? Can you just check that for me?
I think it's sooner than we think.
No. I want to say
It was-
2015
Yeah, I think so.
or 2014. Okay.
When was it?
1968.
What the fuck? No, there's no way. 1968. There's no
So
way.
in 1968, Sutherland with his student Bob created the first virtual reality HMD, named the Sword of Damocles, something like that.
That's
Okay.
fucking crazy.
No, that's news for me. I was going with like early or like
2000s.
early
Early
2000s.
Well, maybe that was a
10s.
shitty VR, right?
Okay,
Maybe it's like,
yeah. Okay, let's.
oh, look at this VR.
Oh, okay.
That's fucking crazy. Yeah, it's just like a, you know, the radios, the small radios, like
Yeah.
it was like on your face.
Does it have like antennas?
yeah, with antennas, exactly.
1968. Okay, let's jump to 2010, for example. Let's say that's when they start creating like VRs. Right now, the most advanced game, like I would expect right now, actual.
Haptic feedback gloves. It's in the works.
It's in the works, but for how long, bro?
Okay. What about Neuralink? If we're talking about this, you want to talk about
No.
Things that are-
Elon is on a different level. Okay, Elon is like fuck exponential. I'm gonna go straight up.
Okay. What do you do? You know anything about Neuralink?
Well, I know that they're creating that chip that goes into your head and like.
No, they're gonna
Fucking-
roll out Neuralink in humans in, I want to say, late 2023, this year. So
That's
the first thing they're gonna
It's really
the first,
fast.
The first thing they're gonna work on is getting back eyesight. And Elon Musk said this, and I watched the news, and he said that he is 100% confident that even if you were born blind, we can
Fix
make
it.
you see again.
Yeah, he's in, but like he's not a reference.
Bro, imagine eyesight, Parkinson's,
Oh, yeah.
Alzheimer's.
I know.
Yeah.
Bro,
it's
imagine
crazy.
you can spot cancer before it goes up.
Well, the amount of opportunity that you have is unimaginable. Once you have that access to your brain, that's basically everything that you have in a human. Have you seen this experiment that they did on monkeys with Neuralinks? They put in a Neuralink chip in monkeys because they want to test it out, right?
Yeah, of course.
So they had a monkey play a game with Neuralink. So what they did was, it was just a game.
He can control the.
With his mind.
I've
Let me
seen
tell you that.
this.
Let me tell you that. So
Curious.
how they did it was, they brought in a monkey where he played a game, and they put in a banana or something that they can eat. They like lick on, and the monkey would use the joystick to play the game, And then after they recorded their neural network, whatever is happening in their brain with every joystick, like to the right,
feedbacks,
like feedbacks to every kind of angle on the joystick, they would remove the joystick, and then what the monkey would do is think about the angle, like have they could like match
Did they
their
remove the joystick or
Neuralink.
just disconnected it?
It would just disconnect
They
it. Yeah,
kept
exactly.
the joystick there, I think.
Oh, so he would still do this, and in his
But it
mind he's
wasn't- but it
doing
wasn't
this, and it
working,
works.
yeah.
So the
Holy
chip
fuck.
would
It was
know
insane.
what
Holy
the move
fuck.
would be only from the neural chemical thing.
But
That
imagine
happens.
flying
Elon
planes
is
like
cracked,
this.
bro.
Wow.
Imagine flying planes like this.
Is it this-
When you said joystick, that's the first thing I thought. Imagine
Yeah.
fighter jets. Bro, the guy's sitting like this, bro. Yo, that's good. But would you do it? Like, if they roll out right now and they say, okay, yeah, we're fixing Alzheimer's, if you have
Yeah,
Parkinson's.
I trust in Daddy Elon, to be honest.
Yeah, but like, you know, you're literally giving him access to your fucking brain.
Don't you do that every... your
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah, we
Okay,
do.
well, the thing is...
We do. But they can
It's
control
pretty-
you. He can literally control your...
No,
bro,
he
if
can't
you do something
control
wrong,
you.
bro, he'll press a button, you're dead.
No, that's
Obviously
not
he can
it.
do that. Man, there's a
That's-
chip in your fucking brain.
But he can't control you because the fucking signals that are being sent for your all your like body is from your brain. It's not from the chip. The chip is mostly kind of like a sensor at the moment.
Yeah, but the chip is connected to the brain, which can send also signals.
if
It's
you're-
it just. I'm not a chemist here, but I think what the message to the body is just it's just fucking chemicals.
Exactly,
Or
yeah,
like
exactly, yeah.
Chemicals or electric, depending
If
on
electric, yeah,
electric,
electric messages. So
Yeah.
how would that not be something that
if you had
a
an
chip would
accident,
do?
if you had an accident
right?
and you're paralyzed,
because
he can fix that because the link is there between your spine. If your spine's not absolutely broken, it's there. It's just your brain's not. The messages sent by your brain to your legs aren't getting there.
no,
So
it's,
the chip will get them there.
If you're paralyzed, it's because those nerve like tunnels.
The nerves
they're
are
damaged.
Yeah, no, doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be. I know a guy.
Most of
I know a
the
guy.
times.
No. I know a guy. His leg until this day twitches, and he's paralyzed. The nerves are working.
That's because it's electrical, not chemical.
No, the nerves are there and they're working. Just the message from the brain to the legs is not reaching, and so he believes that they can fix that problem. And so, by doing that, he can control you, technically speaking, or I don't know. Fuck.
I don't give a
Can
shit.
you
I'll let him
explode in
control
your
me.
brain, bro? I don't know.
I'll let him control me. Like if I get fucking paralyzed, I'd rather be able to move. You know.
Yeah.
And fuck.
Maybe he can jerk me off.
Yo. Yeah, I mean, maybe you could do that even with a fucking brain. Just send some electric signals.
Directly get an orgasm. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just wait for 2020.
Either way,
Yeah.
like the future is scary, bro. I don't know.
It is, man. It is. I don't know how it's gonna be. I mean, you can't expect anything at that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't expect anything. Talking about the future, man. Where do you see yourself in 10 years, bro? Like I don't know if you've imagined yourself being in a position where you're a software engineer at Shopify 5 years ago. So it's like kind of...
Yeah, every day.
No, I think 5 years ago you would imagine yourself being at a big
Not at
company
Shopify,
working.
but yeah.
Like at a big company.
Yeah.
Okay,
you
so
have
let's
to
talk
keep-
about the future. Where do you see yourself in like 5 or 10 years?
Well, to be honest, in 10 years maybe, I don't think I would be an employee anywhere.
Do you know Andrew Tate?
No, who's that?
Do you know Tristan Tate? That's us in 5 years, my guy.
Yeah, I would see myself as like maybe opening up a company or like or selling an idea or working on like something that I own, because like usually as an employee, my view as an employee is just like getting experience, getting exposed to people, networking with people, getting exposed to ideas, but eventually like you can't stay an employee and just work on someone else's dreams. You know what I mean? Like you have to work on your own dreams.
There's no fun in it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no unless like you maybe kind of share their vision, but still, it's not. You don't feel the same amount of risk because
Yeah.
like if they lose everything, you're not affected. Like maybe you just lose your job,
Also,
but you're
if
not
you work
losing.
really hard,
Yeah.
Big Boss gets a new car.
Yeah, exactly.
There's like
Yeah,
this.
you get maybe like 0.001%, maybe less of like as a bonus of
Yeah.
what they're getting percentage wise, but like still, coming up with your own idea, with your own dream, it would be kind of like a nice legacy to leave. Even though like in 10 years starting that, like like oh, I was able to, solve this problem using technology, which is what an engineer is supposed to do.
Yeah.
But it's
Also a computer scientist.
engineer. So, it would be nice to like actually, see yourself working on your own dream, making it in the world, and like fucking.
Yeah.
I agree.
I feel like keeping yourself alive after you die is something really special, and that not a lot
You
of
gotta have a
people
legacy.
have the opportunity to do, right?
Yeah.
Like leaving your footprint in the world, whether it's you creating your own company or helping people or whatever it is, how you want to achieve that is very important. You don't want to leave the world just living and consuming air, and that's it, right? You don't want to waste energy. You want to build energy. You want to advance.
Leave an impact.
You
Leave
also
an
want to
impact,
see your
exactly.
potential, because you don't want to die without seeing the
Regretting-
person you
without
could have
regretting,
you
like,
could
yeah.
have been.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
always give it your all. That's something I always go back to as well.
150%.
Yeah, 150%. And one thing is that you don't want to be comfortable, because if you start working now for a big company, you're getting a shit ton of money, you're secured, you become comfortable the way you are.
Yeah.
You have security, you're done. Okay, I'm happy, I'm chilling. You're not gonna grow anymore from there.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
being able to go out of your comfort zone, you don't want to stick in that comfort zone so much. So that's why 5 years is the limit. Like,
That's what I would warn Jimmy, and in fact me and everyone, like anyone that is taking
Everyone.
a job, that a lot of people, like I've rarely seen people that I would ask, what do you want to do in 10 years, and they don't say that they want to open a company, but there they are after 10 years
working,
staying and
so
working in a
that's
company and getting up in that ladder. I think an important thing is to stick your mind to what your purpose is and not be too comfortable in where you are. I'm nothing to say any advice about that, but that's how I would want to have my life be. I don't want to like be same as you, kind of in a
Living
place where I
someone else's
don't
dream.
leave
Yeah.
impact. Yeah, exactly.
What do you think your advice is to the rest? How do you get to? Because everyone says the same thing. Like you said, everyone says, I want to be.
But
I
how
want to
do
open
you-
up my own company. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. What do you think? How do you start? Where does it? Where does the road start? You say I want to open up my own business. I have this idea. Okay, wow, it's a good idea. Go back to work tomorrow and forget about everything. So I think starting is a start. Like whatever
Yeah.
you do, just start, bro. Do
Exactly,
something.
exactly.
Start. Get the ball rolling.
That's a
Get the
very
ball
interesting
rolling.
point.
Stay consistent in everything you do in life.
Yeah.
If it's the gym, if it's the lifestyle, if it's the meal preps, if it's walking your dog every day, whatever it is, what's consistency is key to everything.
Exactly. I think starting is a very good point that you brought out, because I feel like I lived my life so much of a perfectionist where I didn't want to start anything unless I know everything in it and I'm sure that it's going to work. But I don't think that's
Not
how
realistic.
That's not realistic, right? And I became a person who actually wants to kind of start things off even when they're not perfect. That's why I started the podcast. Not even this might be a shitty shitty, like in a technical way, right? Like I don't know.
You gotta
I just
start
started.
somewhere.
You gotta start somewhere, right? The video quality might not be good. The audio quality might not be good. I don't know. I don't know anything about editing or anything. I just want to meet interesting people at McGill. That's the only reason why I opened the
Hey, man,
podcast.
I'm not a McGill. You saying I'm not interesting? The fuck is wrong with you, man?
well,
Come on, man.
I don't want to shit on Concordia
Bro,
students.
finance
man.
Concordia, like they think.
I don't want to shit on them, man.
Yeah, I'm James B,
Love it,
please. I'm
love
not
it, guys.
Concordia. I'm James B.
James
Whenever
B.
someone asks me where you're from, I'm like, James B.
James B. Not
Same shit.
Concordia.
But yeah, speaking of this, like I showed you a video today, like a minute ago before we started the
Yeah.
podcast, that I also wanted to start a podcast, and so I'm glad that you came today and that you started this, because I gotta be part of it, and yeah, I'm happy for you that you just went and started, even though you don't know how it's gonna end up, you don't know if it's going to be well, you don't know
Left
if
your first impact.
I hope it's gonna be shit. It doesn't fucking matter. It matters that you're starting. It matters you stay consistent. I don't want to see this the last podcast.
That's a very good point, man. And I don't really want to. I don't see a point in looking at the future as in, okay, I want to have that many subscribers or all of those goals. I'm more of a kind of just have fun and see how it goes. So let's see how it goes. Till now, having fun, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been nice.
yeah, it's been really good, man. It's a pleasure to have both of you here.
Pleasure to be here.
I want to end in one question for you, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Wait. Before we say this, we didn't hear what your plan in 5 years is. 10 years.
Well, let's see. This is gonna sound
generic
typical, man.
Nah,
This
don't
kinda
give us a typical answer.
This is gonna sound typical. I really wanna. I haven't figured out my life yet, really. Like I don't know how to narrow it down to kind of what I want to really do, but I really want to build, like Jimmy said, an impact in a way, whether it's through opening a company or whatever it is. I just want to give my best, whether I fail or not fail, regardless of it. I just want to have fun trying to get impact to the world. I might fail and that's fine, but I just think that's the best way to kind of go about life.
Some people are. Okay, I want to say I saw this in a quote. I don't remember by
It's
who.
gonna be
but-
cringy and cheesy.
Yeah,
as
I'm gonna
fuck,
be cringy.
so
I'm not gonna say the
prepare
quote. I'm not gonna
yourself.
say the quote, but I'm just gonna say like the idea of the quote. It's that some people, they don't want to win. They're just scared to lose. And so that's a wrong mindset to have, because some people, they're playing a game or they're doing whatever it is, and all they're thinking of is, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. I hate losing. I don't want to lose. I don't
It's a
wanna
fear
lose.
of losing.
Yeah, it's the fear of losing that keeps them going. It's not the ambition to win.
Yeah.
And I think this is what separates successful people, or the people who want it bad enough that they want it. It's not that they don't want this life. It's that they want this. And so I believe this is the mindset that I need, and the mindset that I want to shift into. And this is something I'm keeping on the back of my head every time I think about
I feel
it.
like a lot of people are victim. I'm very good example of a victim of this. Like I'm always scared of losing. That's why I don't like kind of want to push back to start things sometimes.
If you don't start it, then you have 100% chance of losing.
Bro, Chris spitting fucking quotes, man.
No,
Like
but
he's not getting.
serious. If you don't try something, then you failed
That's
before
true
starting.
though. Yeah.
And failing, you never fail. You always start again from experience. You
Yeah.
know, you're learning something. Everything in life is a learning curve, no matter how old you are. You have people who are 40, 50 years old who starting companies and becoming huge successful at 50 years old after failing so many fucking times before, bro. It just keeps consistency. That's all it is.
Yeah. See, Chris. Sometimes he wins. Sometimes he learns, man.
Yeah, that's it. You win or you learn. You don't lose.
All right, man. Jimmy, I want you to leave us with, a little piece of advice to give to students who are coming up, trying to find their purpose and their career path in software engineering. What would you tell them? What is one crucial point for success in software engineering?
Yeah, so one is kind of hard because like there's a lot of like very important ones that I kind of like value on the top. So I'm gonna say more than one, maybe like 2 or 3. One of them is meet a lot of people. So if you just don't meet a lot of people, you just stay in your own bubble, you're not gonna know, first of all, what's going on around you. You're not gonna know what's for example, a reference point of like whether you're making it or not. You're not gonna learn from anyone. Like if you're gonna be an independent learner, which is something that some people value, I'm not a fan of that, because you might lose either motivation, you might go down a wrong path. Not just an overall, I'm not a fan of that. So you can learn from a lot of people and surround yourself with people that you're the dumbest one in the room. If you're the smartest one,
You're in the wrong room.
100%. So, like, suppose you're just sitting at a table and then just a lot of people are just talking like nonsense or stuff that are not very, beneficial for you. You're just, losing IQ, like you're not benefiting anything. You're just wasting. This is called wasting your time. Maybe you're just having fun. Maybe you just enjoy their company, but it's not very sustainable. So if you just surround yourself with smart people, if you're just the dumbest person in the room, like you're compare yourself with being the smartest one. In a matter of like 1 month or 2, the difference of who you become is just big, So yeah, be the dumbest one in the room. It's nice. And my team, that's how like I surround myself like with that thing. I learn the most using that way, because I look at myself like maybe 6 months ago, I'm a very different person. That's one. Two is something that like almost as what Chris said, like not only just starting with something, but be consistent with it. Because if you, for example, let's say you're I don't know, learning a concept or something, and you just like, you just learn the shallow parts of it, and you don't go into the deep parts, then you're just like anyone else. You just, like, you don't have anything interesting to say anymore. So, like, learning also, like, personal development is very important. Yeah. So, not only surrounding yourself with smart people is beneficial. It's not like you can't rely only on that because you're just learning what they're learning. But if you, focus on yourself, personal development, and you learn stuff that you like you're interested in, you can also share or contribute in that room of people. So you might not end up the dumbest one in the room as well. That's also one thing. And
gotta level up in rooms.
Yeah, you gotta level up, and also like
you never want to be the smartest one.
Yeah, you never want to be the smartest one. That's just find a different group of people. And also like when you apply to places, you're gonna get a lot of rejections. You're gonna get like I don't even like right now I'm still getting rejections.
Yeah.
I applied to a company maybe like a year ago. I got a rejection right now.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like the rejections from companies are even more than rejections from girls, man. The rate is higher.
Bro, like the number of companies that I applied to is more than the number of people I know.
Bro, the ratio.
It's insane. The number, I just have to apply blindly. Yeah. Just apply. So that's, and like, even though, like, don't get demotivated with all those rejections. Like, just fuck it. Like, they're going to reject someone. So what, you get rejected. I don't know what the fuck's going on with this one.
Yeah, don't worry about it. See, that's why you should start it. Just like don't give.
It's giving me epilepsy, my guy. Just don't give up. Just like when I applied to Deliver, I also applied to another startup that right now just crashed. And I was so mad that I didn't get that. But like right after I interviewed Deliver, I was like, yo, right now I'm in Shopify, so
better things to come always.
Yeah, always better things to come. Never. I know it's cheesy, but like actually never give up. Because like the second you give up, like nothing's. Yeah, you lose. Nothing good's gonna come when you give up.
Yeah, I heard a quote last time. It was kind of related to what you said earlier. It's that winner is defined by someone who doesn't let losing stop them.
Yeah.
Once you never let losing stop you, that means you're never losing.
You're never losing.
You're just trying and trying. You were never in a point where you're losing. You're just trying again and again.
100%.
100%. Yeah.
Also, I'd like to add something since this is geared towards university students, and at this age, I want to say something. Life lesson that I learned is that it's also touching about something Jimmy said, is that surround yourself with the right people, because you become like the people you surround yourself with. If you put a baby shark in a small aquarium, it's not gonna grow. So always surround yourself with people where you can learn something from. So sit in your friend group, look at everyone, and just think, am I learning? Is there anything that you can add in my life? Is there anything valuable that you're teaching me? If not, honestly, I don't see why. That's my mindset now. I'm moving into that.
Yeah,
I don't feel a reason why to be here if I'm not learning anything. And so always looking to grow. I go back to my home country in Lebanon. I love my friends in Lebanon to death. And I even told them this. Man, every time I go, there's like gaps of like 6 months between every time I go. And every single time I go, they're always stuck in the same place. They're never evolving, they're never moving. They keep thinking about the same thing, about the same drama, the same places to go to. And so I don't want to live this lifestyle anymore. I'm trying to surround myself with people who are smarter than me, better than me.
Thanks for pointing at me.
Nah, fuck. Just becoming a better person, evolving myself to the next level. And I think that everyone should look at that as well.
Yeah, that's some very interesting stuff, man.
Yeah.
Jimmy, Chris, thank you for taking this time, man. It's really a pleasure. It was really fun talking to you guys.
It was really fun.
Love, 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 love.